Dino Dan here, Dino Dan Bassman. Today is going to be a wrap-up video of basically what I got, what I like about them, what I dislike about them, and then where I'm going to go with this channel for 2025. You guys can see, kind of upgraded some amperage lately. Started with the Mesa Boogie 212 here, TT 800. And then on that end, custom cab by Schreider. Can't pronounce his name, but great guys. Local here to California, and with the Harkey 1000-watt amp over there. So upgraded amps. This year, upgraded basses. I'm at the top of as far as equipment. I feel like, especially for a beginner, and now 2025, as far as equipment goes, is going to be a coastline. I'm not going to be purchasing any more equipment. I'm going to do some deep dives into the equipment I have. What I want to do is shorter videos, deep diving into I'll have one video that's basically about the feel, the aesthetics, how the bass looks, all that stuff. What I like and dislike about that. And then another video will be more of the sound video, where now that I'm getting to a point where I could kind of play a little bit better, we'll just deal with the sound of each bass. So shorter videos dealing with, number one, the visuals and the feels, and then number two video will be the sounds of each bass. That's where I want to go with the channel in 2025. Wrap up, this year has been a roller coaster of ups and downs for me as far as the bass stuff goes. I've purchased stuff that I regret. I've got rid of some of that stuff, and I've purchased other stuff that I feel like I just don't know enough yet to take advantage of that instrument. So I'm hanging on to those. And one of those basses is the Bite bass. This is my first custom bass I got. I designed it. I picked out, all the colors and everything, and then the pickup configuration, all that good stuff. I feel like I don't know quite enough to take fully advantage of that situation yet. So that bass is not going anywhere. The biggest thing about it that I like is the sound you get out of it straight out the box. Everything at 12 o'clock is righteous. It's great. My biggest dislike is the thing weighs about 12 to 13 pounds. It's heavy. Now I realize probably some of that sound is coming from that swamp ash body that makes it so heavy. But I do love the neck. The It's got more of a jazz neck profile. I mean, I love all that stuff. I love the way it looks, obviously. So that's the things with the Bite. It's I busted out a little less than the rest of these just because it kind of taken me a while to get used to the pickups and blending those pickups with the type of music I play, which is worship music. The next bass I want to talk about is the Sire D5. Love this bass. Honestly, I think it's a little inconsistent in how it sounds coming across the frets. So I believe with a proper setup, that bass will be perfect. So something I'm looking at either learning how to do next year or spending more investment money is to get the bass set up properly. I love the way it looks. I love that old school feel. It is a bass I could just pick up, plug in, and play with everybody on stage here, and it does fine. Chunky neck, old school P bass neck, chunky, but the feel of those sire necks, the rounded edges, it's just phenomenal. Next up is the Fender Ultra Jazz. This is the first Ultra because now they have Ultra 2, which, hint, hint, we'll talk about a little later. But as far as the Fender Ultra goes, is I'm not totally big on active basses yet. So part of me getting a bass like this was to see if the preamp would help me cut through our live stream mix any better. So I'm still playing around with that. I do love this bass. Yesterday we were here practicing. I was using a P bass for a while, and then I wanted to plug this guy in to see how it sounded with the new bass rig. And man, that neck compared to the P bass neck, it just made it seem like I was playing a total different instrument. So the Jazz neck, wow, if you're gonna get a bass custom made, that Jazz neck is pretty hard to beat. That's from a new beginner point. Everything else about it, I really like. Been debating on changing that pick guard out for a black one. You let me know how you feel about that. If you think I should go with a black or a pearl black pick guard. But overall, it's a solid bass. It's a Fender. It's solid. The pickups are quiet. Their noiseless pickups are very quiet. It sounds good. I'm just not there yet when it comes to the active stuff to really make it benefit me, except through the Sire stuff. Not Sire, through the live stream stuff. I know if I boost up those mids, it's going to help me get in the live stream mix a little better. Which also brings me on to the next bass. This is the Z3 from Sire. New bass that just came out this year. I've really been enjoying it. If there is an active bass I pick up here, this is usually the one I pick up. Cuts through the mix really easy. Again, it's a beefier Sire P bass style neck. So you have that. It's pretty chunky, but man, this thing could cut through a mix like no other. I really enjoy that part. Again, it is a little weighty, probably close to 10 pounds, 11 pounds, but again, you got this ash body. I had another Sire for a quick minute. This is a Z7. It was the precision bass model, active precision bass model by Sire. I forget which number and letter that is. I only had it for a few weeks. And truthfully, I sent it back to Sweetwater. Great people over there. Just wasn't. I found myself reaching for this bass. I played with it side by side through a jam session I had with a buddy here. And I just found myself lending to this more than I would lend to that. It had a P pickup here and a Jazz pickup here, and then all the preamp. It was close to 13, 14 pounds. It was a heavy, heavy bass. And I just didn't see myself playing it. So that one got sent back because I've just found myself using this one over that one pretty much any time. It was a beautiful bass, don't get me wrong. Just didn't work out. All right, so now we're coming back with the the basses I use the most around here. This might speak for itself when it tells you the tonnage I like. So that being that, so on the far we have the Ibanez. It's an acoustic bass. The only acoustic bass I have here. I do have a very old, probably 20-plus-year-old Ovation at the house, but I don't play that at all. It's more of a I don't know what to do at bass. So this Ibanez, I picked it out because sometimes we do acoustic sets here, and they're very mellow. So the worship leader thought it'd be a good idea for me to get a acoustic bass. So I went with this one mainly because it has the thumb rest right there next to the hole. The hole. You guys know what it's called. I don't. But plus it looks nice. It was a medium price, for $400-ish. Had some pretty decent reviews. I like the tape. They're like a nylon coated tape round wound. So I picked that up. I don't use it a whole bunch here because when we do the acoustic set, depending how many people play, will determine if I use that or if I use an electric bass. But very cool bass. It's a little thinner than some of the other basses I've seen, acoustic basses also, which is also very nice. When you're holding that acoustic bass, I generally play it sitting down, but right here, depending how thick it is, right here could really kind of get into your arm. So that's one thing to be aware of if you get an acoustic bass. How thick it is might determine how much it gets in your arm. So I like it. Don't really have many negatives about it besides its acoustic bass. It's not for all situations. The Rick, what can I say? The Rick, I find myself grabbing the Rick anytime I need to have a no-brainer situation. I know what it's going to sound like. I know I don't have to do a bunch with the knobs. I just plug it in, set my gain, and go. I've had the Rick now for probably a year and a half, and I just really enjoy it. I recommend them for anybody who may be looking for an American-made bass. The cost a couple grand from Sweetwater, and I just love it. Haven't got myself to take off that American-made sticker yet. I don't know why. Even on that Sire bass, I don't know why I haven't brought myself to take off the sticker in the front. One of the other basses I tend to grab to a lot is the Fender Custom Shop Empire 58 P bass. I love it. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it looks. Although I've been also thinking about changing that pig guard. Mainly because it reflects a lot of light into the congregation. So, because it's that anodized, gold anodized. And as I think about it, the covers, the ashtrays probably reflect a lot also. But I just love this bass. It's got great sound. I put flats on it, and it's just smooth. I love the way a P bass sounds. Neck is a little thick, but like I said, it's just one of my go-tos. If there was a negative about it, I'd have to say that the way it looks is a little controversial. A lot of old school people don't like the anodized pick guard, so I get some comments on it. Um, so I guess you either like it or you hate it, type of deal. I was also thinking about possibly putting a tortoise shell on this one, um, or a black one, a black pearl also, but I don't know. Something in me just says leave it alone. And not the last, the newest member of my family is this Reverend Hollow Body. This is the bass I got switched out for, or I made it wasn't necessarily a trade, but for the sire bass I sent back, I went with this guy here. Sweet bass, light bass, short scale bass is light, so I uh, I enjoy playing this when my back hurts and I still want to play something. And I love the way it looks and feels. Might put some flats on this one also. Still kind of debating the flats. Pickups are wonderful. Man, the pickups are wonderful. So I don't know, like it's a reverse P and this humbucker, and then I believe tone, no volume, and then tone, something like that on there. Anyways, I've been really enjoying this bass. It could hold its own. It could hold its own in a mix. We did a Christmas service a couple weeks ago where I had this bass and the Rick both plugged into my system, and I used this bass for the latter end songs that were a little more mellow. Um, uh, and they were Christmas songs. So if you guys know Christmas songs, they tend to like every note in the scale. So this was actually a little better to play with on those Christmas songs because I was able to maneuver a little better. It held its own. It held its own. I could have did the whole gig with this one, um, but again, I just love the way the Rick sounds, and I like to overcomplicate things at times. So this is the Reverend. Definitely keeper in my family now. Beautiful bass. So with sort of a New Year's resolution slap goal of mine for next year is I am not going to purchase any equipment basses going forward. Pedals, I have plenty of pedals now. I could make probably 3 to 4 pedal boards if I wanted to, which is very overkill for a bass player. I have the amperage, any amperage I would ever need. Um, excuse me. With these 2 amps, I have a whole Ampeg set up here in the back with the B15 style, um, with the 15, and then the tube amp, the newer generation of that, and then I have a 610 setup back here with a 500 watt Ampeg, Portaflex Ampeg. So as far as the big amps go, I'm set on that. What I really need to do now is just learn how to play better, which is coming along. I'd say in the past 6 months, things have really started to click for me. I've been a lot more comfortable playing, and now I just need to use that to continue to play and get better. I still play anytime I get a chance to play here at church. I play, and I don't care who it's with. I just play. Um, Practice is still a joy for me. So that's one thing I feel like I have going in my favor. I don't feel like anything's a chore for me as far as my playing goes. And being a new bass player, I feel like that's a big plus when you don't feel like anything is a chore. I want to come to practice and practice. The most difficult part of this whole thing is practicing at the house and being motivated to do that. Usually, once I get started, then I'm in it for an hour and a half easy. But it's getting that initial start of practicing and where to practice, what to practice, and things like that. That's been a little struggle for me. But that's been the biggest struggle is practicing at the house. Practicing here with other musicians, I can't get enough of. I love it. We have a guitar player here, my buddy Tommy. It's just awesome. Whenever we get a chance to play and practice, we do it without a doubt. So going on to next year, like I said, my videos are going to be more based upon diving into the details of the equipment I have. I feel like I have a wider range, even though I don't have a lot of these newer style basses like uh, I don't know if they're jazzes or when you start getting into the 5 and 6 string multi-scale. I know I don't have that stuff, but haven't really been drawn to that stuff yet. Um, and like I said, it'll be at least a year until I purchase anything else. So I'm going to deep dive into these basses. I want to hear what you guys think about them. I want to hear I want to show you guys what a new bass player thinks about them and how that might be able to help you guys out with making your purchases or future purchases. Um, so yeah, that's it. I'm Dino Dan, the bass man. It's been a great year. Haven't done everything I've wanted to. Probably haven't even done half of it, but I'm learning, making steps to being a better bass player. And so I just encourage everybody out there that you really want to play the bass, and it doesn't need to be in a church setting. Um, but if you do want to play the bass and you are in a church, pound that pavement, talk to people you need to talk to, find out who the musicians are, and just let them know your availability. My availability is pretty open, so along with all the other things I do in life, I always make room for this. Um, I'm a football coach. I have 2, 3.5 jobs. I, uh, I do stuff here at the church with the sound ministry, but I've been blessed to be able to open up and be able to practice and play anytime I get a chance to. So I encourage you guys to do that. Practice, play with people. There's other musicians out there in your circumstances that are looking for people to practice and play with. So I'm Dino Dan, the bass man. Till we meet again in 2025. Wow. Dino Dan, the bass man, signing off for 2024. Let's tap some strings and do some things in 2025. Peace.